This is a return to the portrait. I made a portrait planner not so long ago, and I really liked it. It was clear, it was simple, it was easy to use. I even put the dates down in the corner. But there's a few things that I thought I could change, I thought I could improve on when I was doing this. I also wondered whether I could make a better version if it was in landscape. So after using this, I decided to make the landscape version with all the changes. And the changes that I made was to put the year strip down the side and to make the location notices in the bottom right. I really like this. Every day was clear to see that it was a Tuesday or a Thursday or a Saturday. It was absolutely beautiful to have the navigation down the bottom right. The problem is, I realised I don't take notes in landscape. I walk around with my planner. I take notes on the move, like this, and I very rarely have it like this. So when I had some free time, I went back and I made the portrait version. But this time, I made the changes. I put the year strip down the left, and I put the navigation in the bottom right. And I think it's brilliant, and I've really enjoyed using it over the past 2 weeks. To me, the standout feature is a navigation bar over the left-hand side. This is how we navigate through the document. There's a lot of hyperlinks in here, and the information is clear at a glance at your fingertips. This appears in every single page of the planner, apart from the index page. More on that in a minute. Down the left-hand side, there's a bunch of numbers, and these numbers are hyperlinks, and these are hyperlinks to the note pages. So if I click on this one, it'll take me to Notes 1. If I click on this one, it takes me to Note 55, and this one, Note 67. But then how do I know what's on which notes page? Well, I've got an index in the bottom, and this is the only page without the navigation bar down the left. So if I want to fill these up, I can start writing down what I would put in here, and then I could put something down for 3, or if I wanted to put a completely different section, I could start in my 30s. Moving on from the quick notes, we can see this part over here. This is what I'm calling the year strip. I find this really useful to have it at a glance. This information at my fingertips when I need it is absolutely brilliant, and it's become an integral part of my workflow. And these are super useful to have. So for example, if I click on the 17th of November, I can see that the 17th of November is a Thursday. These are all hyperlinked with very little lag. Next to the hyperlink days are the hyperlink months. That's November. That one will take you to April, July. Now the index page is the only one that doesn't have the navigation bar. And that's because when I was making it, if I put the navigation bar down here so we could write down what was on each of the pages, it just looked a bit crap. So I decided to make a clear list of the hyperlinks to the notebooks with nothing else next to it. Now tapping on the home icon over here will take us back to the yearly spread. I tend to use this as my home page, where I'll come across here and I'll mark off all the days. And I mark off all the days as I've got through them. So what are we up to now? I think we're up to November the 13th. Yeah, that's right, Sunday, November the 13th. And for those of you who are new to digital planning, the reason why I do this is because every page is separate. So if I go to the next page, what I wrote on the previous page is no longer there. Well, it is still there, but it's on the previous page. So if I hyperlink to another page in the book, there's nothing there, and there's nothing there. So I tend to keep one as my home page so that the notes I make about this throughout the year will always be in the same place. It's really important to pick a page. Doesn't matter which one. Maybe you want to pick that as your home page. That's fine. Maybe you want to just do it in August, or maybe you want to pick the last day of the year in the planner. That's absolutely fine. Just pick a day and use that one. It really doesn't matter which one it is, so long as you have one. Next to the year strip, you'll notice this, the weeks. And yes, it goes up to 53, and that's because the year, although it's got 52 weeks in it, is spread over 53 weeks. So this week here is the last week of 2022, but it also includes the first week of 2023. So it's week 53 and week 1. This planner does not have the hyperlinks for the weeks, and that's because this planner doesn't have weekly pages in it. Do you want weekly pages in your planner? Let me know. I can easily put one in now all the basics are in place. Just a matter of hyperlinks and maybe copy and pasting, duplicating a few pages, a few spreads here and there. It's not a problem at all. So how many hyperlinks are there in this? Well, let's do the maths. It tells me over here, if I can find it, there you go, 473 pages. So we'll call it 472 pages, because that last page is an index page and it doesn't have all the hyperlinks in it, apart from the quick links to the notebooks, but we'll deal with that. So that's going to be times by 76 for the quick links to the notebook, plus the index, plus the home button, plus the 12 months, plus the 365 days for the year, plus the extra 17 down here, and then plus the index page, which actually does have, and I'm going to add on the index page, so I've got 76 plus the one there plus the one there. So that comes up to 222,862, plus or minus a few here and there. I think it's quite a lot, and considering this notebook is only 16.9 megabytes, I'm quite impressed. Although 16.9 megabytes is pretty big for a digital planner, but with this many hyperlinks, that's where it gets all its size from. Yeah, quite happy with that. So that's the hyperlinks talked about. Let's have a look at the changes to the layout. Now, on every page, apart from the index page, you'll see this section. This section is for the important reminders. I tend to put things in bullet points down here, maybe flesh it out with a few really important details, but my main focus tasks of the day is all written in here. I tend to put bullet point and write down what's important for that day. And if I need to write a bit more, I can easily put stuff in. And to the right of this box, you'll notice two columns. And they're separated with a nice thin blue line. This main section, the main body for writing your notes, is split into two columns. There are 11 large squares made up of 22 smaller squares. And the reason why I split this up into two columns is I was finding when I was making notes, when zooming in, it was becoming messy. I don't know where in my notebook this particular page is. Is it at the bottom? Is it at the top? Is it right near the end? The only way that I could know whether I'm coming to the end I need to find a new line was by having these remember lines. I've got this one to tell me that I'm getting closer, and this one to tell me that I'm almost at the end. So if I was writing my planner and I got to this line, then I'd know that I had to find a new place, or I'd have to start thinking about finishing my sentence. But the problem was I could only find this at the end of the page. Now with two columns, I can find it over here, and I know that my middle is there, and I can find it over here. This way, I'm keeping my notes clearly in columns. I am tempted to make 3 columns. What do you think? Would you prefer 3 columns? Would you like 3 columns? Quite happy with the 2, but I am tempted for 3. As with most, but not all my planners and notebooks, this comes as standard 55. And this means that everything you do in the standard 55 notebook will copy it across really smoothly without any problems of scaling. So for example, if I get this and copy it across, you can see that it's perfectly scaled as it was in here. No scaling issues, no resizing issues. Everything standard 55 should copy across to anything else in standard 55, whether it's a sticker, whether it's your writing. No matter what it is, it'll copy over beautifully. So where can you get this gorgeous planner from? This planner is available for free from my Facebook page. All you have to do is head over there, follow the link and grab this. Links are in the description below. And of course, January to December 2023 will be available on my Etsy store very, very soon. Links, again, in the description. So if you like this, I'd really appreciate if you would like the video. And of course, subscribe would be really great. Hey, did you see that? We just passed 100 subscribers. To me, that's a massive issue. I am so happy with that.